of course, having a great intention of working, is Donald Trump wants to be the next president of the United States of America. We listened yesterday to his conversation with Elon Musk. We're going to talk now to Erol Morkoc, who's from Republicans overseas, because there's been a few rumblings, shall we say, from some people on the Republican side, saying that, you know, Trump's campaign has gone a little bit quiet and gone a little bit slow. Let's hear from Nikki Haley. Here's what she has to say.
I think that's not happening now? Do you think that this campaign is floundering on that point?
I want this campaign to win, but the campaign is not going to win talking about crowd sizes. It's not going to win talking about what race Kamala Harris is. It's not going to win talking about whether she's dumb. It's not. You can't win on those things. The American people are smart. Treat them like they're smart.
Erol Morkoc, very good morning to you. Is Nikki Haley right?
Well, you know, Ms. Haley has a very strong point. Well, Donald Trump is sort of an enigma in politics, somebody who isn't a politician. People do love that about him. They love his off-the-cuff kind of style. In some ways, he does have to adhere to the facts of the situation. And he has a great opportunity here, especially since the assassination attempt, to really kind of swing his image and persona. And I don't think he's done that to the extent that a lot of strategists would like him to.
Right.
And, you know, is that how Donald Trump operates, though? No, he doesn't. He's kind of an avant-garde character. He colors outside the lines. And so while people can give him that advice, it's going to be ultimately up to him because, you know, she's right. Nobody really does care about the crowd size argument. And the Kamala Harris sort of racial, let's go with DEI kind of argument. Yeah. That's not a valid argument going farther than it's already been said. So there really needs to be a new focus, and I think maybe this discussion with Elon was opening a new chapter in that.
Yeah, exactly right. And a lot of people have said that, you know, the campaign's gone a bit quiet, but that could just be because it's kind of the dog days of August. It's not really time to rev it up, and I'm convinced that he will rev it up come September, and he will get back sort of on the horse, as it were, and he'll find. I think there was probably a situation where his campaign team was slightly thrown by the fact that Joe Biden finally pulled out, even though they've been calling for him to do it for such a long time, and they're having to change their strategy slightly.
Oh, absolutely. And that didn't throw them for a complete curveball because they were expecting it, but it still does change the dynamics of everything. Right. And Kamala's in her honeymoon phase. It's an overused term, but it is pretty accurate here. I mean, the first 2 weeks, there wasn't much Trump could do to stymie the sort of unlimited press she's been getting. But she still refuses to speak with the, with the press. She doesn't have press conferences. She is employing the sort of hide in the basement strategy Biden used for the whole campaign. Yeah. Can she keep that up for another 60, 90 days? I think she probably can. It's really going to come down to this debate for Trump to be able to differentiate himself from Kamala, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, I presume he will absolutely slaughter her in any debate because, you know, he's quite good at it, and she's not. As far as we know, I've never seen her in a debate. You know, until she was announced as the front runner for the Democrat Party, I don't think I'd even actually ever heard her speak.
Yeah, you know, she couldn't even get 1% of the vote in California in the primaries. She's one of the most unlikable
her home state.
In her home state, exactly. Yeah. You know, she also wouldn't go and speak at UC Berkeley because she didn't want to have any association with far left groups. So I don't even know sometimes what her thought process is. She offends even the people who support her. So she wasn't an electable candidate. She's a prosecutor who's done some pretty uncouth things to seemingly innocent people. She's not a likable individual. But the Democrat Party is a machine. We're not running against Kamala Harris. We're running against the Democrat machine. And their voters, they don't care what her policy is. They're not asking for it. It's us. It's the Republicans who are asking her to define what her policies are. Her voters and her side of the aisle, they're not even asking that question. They're saying it's all vibes and we're going to win on the twerking videos and the superstars, and they might do it.
Yeah, well, let's hope not. Let's have a listen, though, to Donald Trump talking to Elon Musk. We played out some of this stuff yesterday. This is him about a conversation he may have had with Vladimir Putin.
And again, I said to Vladimir Putin, I said, don't do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. You do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him things that what I do, and he said, no way. And I said, way.
So, I mean, Donald Trump having that conversation with Vladimir Putin, you'd want to be a fly on the wall on that. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who worked for Trump for a period of time in that first administration, has claimed today, I don't know whether you know this about this particular situation, Errol, but he's claimed today to Times Radio that conversation never happened. Have a listen.
What do you make of what your former boss has said there about President Putin, and indeed how, if he were to return to the White House, he would approach that war in Ukraine?
I think he made that conversation up. I don't think it occurred in anything like the way he described it to Elon Musk. He certainly didn't have that kind of conversation with Putin during my 17 months as national security advisor, and I don't believe he had it before I showed up. It's possible he did after I left, but I don't think so. I think Donald Trump makes up facts that suit him. Sounds like a real tough guy when he talks to Putin. I think it's completely made up.
He's not a great friend of Trump's, is he, John Bolton? And I think there's any love lost between them, so I'm not sure I'd take that with any more than a pinch of salt.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because John Bolton, he kind of made his bones after the administration by writing a tell-all book about Donald Trump and getting quite a bit of money out of it. On top of it, a lot of people feel that John Bolton is a war criminal and fundamentally a bad person. And so he's not somebody who anybody looks to for any moral high ground, if that's the angle he's trying to play. I don't think it's going to have much of a sway on anything that with John Bolton's opinion anymore, but he is sort of a relic from the past, and you can't really get rid of him.
No, I think that's absolutely right. Erol Morkoc, thank you very much indeed for talking to us from Republicans overseas. Got plenty of messages for you, loads of them here. Mike, here's one from Chris in Kent. He says, I want to know, Mike, how people get so much in benefits. I had my foot run over and